welcome to another episode of Brokers and Booze. My name is Chris Ward, broker in charge of Eagle Realty, along with my fellow constituents, Mr.
Nick Sowers with Beach Connection Realty.
And Bill Yates with Sands Realty, Sands Property Management.
Very excited for this episode. So literally the FedEx guy just came up to the door and delivered Mr. Yates his first case of Empathy Wine. If you don't know what Empathy Wine is, it is a company owned by Gary V. If you don't know who that is, go look up him and his content.
And what planet have you been on?
I don't know. If you haven't heard of Gary V and you do consume content, that's probably interesting to me, especially in the real estate and or sales.
Contact us. We want to interview you more.
We'll let you know. But he started, before he was content marketing, he was in the wine business. He opened this company called Empathy Wines. He has 3 wines, a white, a rose, and they just released a red this month. So I think each of us have been getting getting at least one case of it. And
my first delivery.
So this is his first red out. $20 a bottle is the retail. You two have never tried it before, right? I've tried it.
Not tried it.
I've had it a couple times. So you guys go ahead and we didn't let it, while they're tasting it. Oh, we got cheers.
We always have to
Brokers and Booze, I got this. Cheers this. Smell that. I can tell it hasn't.
Ooh, it's definitely, you can smell it.
Oh. So I would recommend, if you get the Empathy Red, you should let it, either put it in a decanter or at least open the bottle about 2 hours
We didn't
beforehand.
let it breathe.
We did not let it breathe whatsoever.
I'm going to try and expedite mine right now.
We did not let it breathe.
I'm going to leave it kind of solid so I can give you a little different.
I mean,
we could have poured out the aerator if that would help.
I mean, this is off the truck too.
Straight off the truck. Yes. I mean, didn't even sit on his bar shelf. So, all right, I'll give you my tasting first.
Delivery at its finest.
Man, and it's going to be a lot different in contrast.
Ooh, that is that is a strong wine. It is a very, oh man.
There's a lot going on.
Where's the steak?
The steak?
I need a steak with this bad boy.
It's big.
I mean, this is a big wine. Like, it is a good wine. I might have to put a couple bottles in storage and just let them live for a little while.
I think I've
heard age in the bottle, Nick.
Huh?
They don't age in the bottle.
I've heard Gary Vee said it's an 8 to 10 year wine at least, if not 15. Yeah, that's you got to put one of these in the cellar if you got one, or just in the cabinet and up on the shelf.
Some cellars.
This needs to go back up on your shelf, like just sit in the back and let it sit there for a while.
Don't let anybody touch
it.
It's
a 14.9% by volume.
Yep. That's bigger if you don't know. Most of them 13.2 to 13.5 on most reds.
On our last episode, we were at 13% on the red.
Was it?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and so I think a very different structure. If you go back and watch the other episode. Actually, you can watch the first 3 episodes. But this wine's different than the last wine we had tried. I think it's bigger blackberry, bigger just red cherry almost, and like Nick said. This is a steak wine. This is like a restaurant wine.
I'm kind of upset we're not eating a steak right now with this.
We're gonna have to make some adjustments, fellas.
We might have a steak and wine episode.
Bigger body. I think bigger finish. Lingers a lot more. It's not as and I'm comparing to the last episode that we had a red wine on. It's just
big,
heavier on the
but
palate.
it's big, but it doesn't have a bite.
It's good. It's delicious.
Yes,
it's
you can drink a lot of this wine.
Don't tell me.
You can drink a lot of this wine.
I think it's got a lot of body. I wouldn't call it super dry or extra dry.
No,
I'd call it dry.
It's definitely
it's not sweet. It's kind of a sweet. There's a lot going on there.
You got that candy. Again, you talked about Twizzler last time. Not as tart candy, but like just like Skittles or like a chewy candy.
I think Gary said Spree.
Did he say Spree? I didn't like Sprees as a kid, but so he said grape Spree. In fact, I think he did say grape Spree. A grape candy.
That is a Spree.
I might be interested. It'd be interesting too with like some heavy cheese or some seeing how it would play off it.
So again, these $20 though. So comparatively, the last wine we had on the show, $50.
This might be the best value wine I've tasted, period. Hands down.
No push at all, Gary Vee.
I'm not.
That's his goal when he made the wine now. So
honestly, that's why I made an order.
Yeah, he said he couldn't make a $20 wine that really drinks like a 40-50 And I believe, and we've been to restaurants.
Yes.
I haven't got to go. This is one thing I maybe have only got to go once to like a big restaurant with you. I don't remember. I haven't got to do the whole what's the famous Yates New York Prime nights or
Yes.
whatever.
Ooh.
I haven't got to be invited to one of those. But I know we've gone to some restaurants. I know we've gone to some
Yes,
restaurants.
we hit the Capitol Grill up in Fort Lauderdale and in Charlotte. Yes, and we went big on wine.
Wine's $100 to $120, and I would put this in that same category in a restaurant. Like that's just how it drinks to me.
I mean, we didn't go crazy with wine.
No, it
Actually,
wasn't.
Bill and I never went crazy. The problem with Bill at a high-end restaurant is, especially New York Prime, is you don't get the craziness of the wine because you get the craziness of the amount of lobster.
Hey, and this is where I feel left out because I haven't got to have the lobster experience with Mr. Yates.
It's all about the presentation, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe that'll be a Christmas gift to me.
Yates, what do you recommend at New York Prime if you're getting a lobster?
Well, I don't like to go too large because it gets a little firm and tough. So about 3.5 to 4.5 and multiple of those.
Can you drink red with lobster? Is that allowed?
I mean, you can do anything you want because it's like the cap said, it isn't do what's right, it's do what's right for you.
Do what's right.
Right.
Okay.
And as long as you're pairing a fillet with the lobster
Oh,
and the
fillet.
red,
Yeah, surf and turf
I think,
with the red.
I think
I
that's
think it
all
works
legit.
well.
That makes sense. Well, boys, I hope you like it. Like I said, I think there's a lot of different flavors if you let it sit for about 2 hours, let it breathe a little bit, get some of that heavy alcohol off the top of it. I think you'll definitely.
I'm impressed. I think because we all do have some respect for Gary Vee, it deserves a mid podcast
Oh, a
toast
second toast?
to him.
No, a little shout out. I have been a subscriber to his normal wine deliveries. This is his first that I tasted that he's...
That's like his wine.
His wine.
Yeah, his owned wine. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't do winetext.com and you want to go broke, do winetext.com.
Yes, we're all members or former members. In fact, I just got a delivery yesterday from winetext.com.
There you go. So we just mentioned too, winetext.com, great for gifts. I'm looking for my invite to New York Prime as maybe a Christmas gift, and we're transitioning into our topic for today's episode, which is talking about gifts.
Yeah, we're talking about gifts. I put it out there specifically for real estate agents, for the brokers. Like, what would you get your agents as a gift? But also, what would you get your clients as a gift? And then, what's just a good gift for friends as well, or business associates you feel you should get a gift for? So that's what we're going to talk about. We got some comments on it, but I'm sure these guys have some thoughts and ideas on that. So.
I always think it's something that nobody throws away. They can always use. They won't re-gift. Personally, I'll just throw these out here. I buy water bottles and Arctic cups with my branded name and number on them. So
4 episodes, and we made it all the way to number 4 without any branding of any of our companies until now.
Yeah.
as an example, it's really easy to do. There's multiple companies that offer that service and offer the product. But there's a lot of people that do koozies. I've got a basket full of koozies that I don't know where they came from. But no one throws out a koozie.
Okay.
No one throws out a koozie. However, I feel like it's overdone.
Yeah, well, like I said,
Is that regional to us? Just
Maybe
we're at the
because,
beach?
and
maybe.
I think it's
that's about it.
regional to the amount of drinking that goes on.
We're on Myrtle Beach, number 2, maybe number 1.
What are we?
Country.
The last time, weren't we number 2?
Number 1 or 2.
Number 1 or 2?
For what?
The drunkest city in America. But again, the numbers are skewed because of the population and it's per capita, obviously.
Yeah, it's
We've
per
got
capita, and it has to do
1.9
with...
million visitors here.
I think it had to do with the number of DUI arrests versus the population of Myrtle Beach, which is somewhere in the 30,000 range.
So nothing to do with if Yates lives here. Like Yates is zip
That
code.
may actually...
Build my own bar so I don't have to
No,
leave
you know what? It
Myrtle
may
Beach.
just have to... I think they didn't do it off DUI. They did it off consumption of alcohol because they figured it out through the distributors.
Yes.
You're welcome, Bourbon Street. For these two guys.
How to save money in 2020. Don't drink out.
Like we just
Classic
said,
example.
$20 in Yates Club, $50 in the store, 120 in a restaurant. That's what this wine
Cheers
goes
to
for.
that. Lesson learned.
So okay, getting back to the topic.
Yes.
What do you think? So you just named a couple great gifts. You have a couple great gifts. I know over the years, one of my personal struggles as a broker to clients and to my agents is like what to get and getting a new thing each year. I've been in the business for 16 years, so trying to somewhat keep fresh or keep something new so it's not just the same old thing is always a struggle. In addition to something new, is price point. So I don't know how much you're spending. Like, do you have levels on, like, the client gets the water bottle, but this client gets the shot glass? Like, do you have different price points?
I don't try and segregate it that way. I treat all clients with equality and fairness.
I wasn't trying to like bait you into that.
So you don't change between, you know, the mobile home and
where you buy an
versus the
efficiency
Grand
or
Dunes
three
house.
bedroom or
Yeah,
a penthouse.
Right.
I don't.
Everybody gets the same.
You might get one or two depending on.
Okay,
quantity.
But the same cost for the apparatus. See, and I don't know. Like, I mean, we talked about koozie I think is probably an inexpensive way to go. I know I've done keychains. I have lots of little swag stuff. But when it comes to like gifts for the holiday,
yeah, you kind of want to do something.
You want to be a little bigger, right?
You don't want to just be like, oh, I gave
The recipes, the cakes, the pies.
And you definitely don't want to be like, oh, the koozie or the bottle opener or the something small. Like, I mean, we did this past summer. We put together a swag bag for the owners. We have an on-site office at Ocean Forest Villas, and we wanted to do something for our owners. We put together a little swag bag, put bottle openers in it, put koozies, put a battery charger. It was a little, we made the bag, it was actually a cooler. It could hold a 6-pack that we ordered. Like, it was stuff you would have for the beach because that was for our owners summertime. But, you know, Christmas time, you know, going into the holidays, you definitely want to try to do something a little bit more memorable, a little bit more fancier. Not as cliche as everything everybody would put out there all the time.
Right. So, like, I love the idea, and I'm spitballing now because I've never done this, of the wine giveaway. I think the bottle of wine is a significant gift.
Yep.
But like Bill just said, it's consumed and now it's gone.
Tossed.
Yeah.
Brand is done.
So do you pair that with, I don't know, with a logoed wine glass?
So I assume you're talking clients.
I'm talking clients at this point. I want to get to agents, but because I have some ideas for that.
So let's go to the comments here.
Okay.
I actually had a comment from an agent. Full disclosure, she works for me. Her name's Fee Fraudo. And she put Flex Seal for her clients.
Is that for the hurricane? Or
I think it's because, you know, when you sell properties, there's always something leaking.
well, that's what he called plumber.
So hold on. Is Flex Seal just one step up from duct tape? I feel like what are we giving the?
Well, let's put it this way. It got the most number of laughs of all the comments. So we'll add a little humor there. It's very practical, and I guess if you're selling a lot of properties that need work, it could have.
Or just oceanfront houses.
Every time you use Flex Seal, you think of Nicholas Allen.
Yeah,
Felicia
Flex. Well, Fee and Flex Seal, I guess. Okay, interesting. I know you said clients for us. I know I've done usually like you said, I'll do gift cards, but I gotta put something in, like some sort of glass, some sort of kitchenware of some sort, whether it's a cutting board, a glass, a cup, with a gift card that I feel like they can, you know, get a little bit of better value.
We've done a lot of gift cards.
Really liked your wine glasses last year.
Yeah.
The
Eagle Realty wine glasses.
Shame you didn't have one here.
I know. Only you got the thing, and we're drinking wine. I use them all at home. So yeah, even those. I mean, that's becoming. We were talking about companies, online companies that do foreign prints and Vistaprints and discountmugs.com. I know there's a lot of them out there that you can actually get relatively at scale, at quantity, a good amount of those products, not too expensive.
Well, I got an idea. Hey, we actually surprisingly have a guest that's here in the audience. I'm gonna bring him over.
An audience? What?
Yes, Paul Stecker. He's a local mortgage lender in town. He would be officially our first drop-in quick minute guest.
Did he not get a drink?
Here, wait a sec. Pour him a little empathy. First thing I'm going to ask you, Paul, is if you could give us your opinion of the wine.
Introduce yourself, Paul.
But in the meantime, introduce you while Bill's pouring here.
Yeah, talk loud. We're talking to the mic.
Hi, everybody. It's Paul Stecker with Caliber Home Loans here locally in Myrtle Beach. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. First guest.
Take a little taste of that wine and let us know what you think of it.
I like this a lot better. Yeah, this is a lot better than the last one.
Getting better and better.
This is nice.
Every sip is getting better.
Yeah, they really.
You guys didn't mention. I mean, again, they did just get this package. I actually walked it over here from the FedEx guy here like 20 minutes ago.
Thank you, Paul.
Without it, it would have been sent back. So, with the cards, there's actually cards in with the wine.
Yeah, we didn't
They
bother.
tell you who grew it, you know, who the owner is. But I think the greatness of Gary V is a marketing he puts on here describing this wine.
Yeah.
So I'll take a second just to describe the wine. As per Gary V. 2018 Red Blend. It makes heads turn when it walks into the room. It's deep and sophisticated without compromising its wit or approachability. It's the perfect wine for getting up close and personal, passionate and indulgent. Like a romance novel in liquid form, perhaps that's going a bit too far. Perhaps. Just try not to get seduced, okay? It's rather pervasive.
Well, this kind of sounds very much like our review.
That sounds like our
It's actually
Sounds
not
a
bad.
lot like
Yeah,
how
it
Bill
does.
and I described
And you
it.
know
That's
what,
right.
Chris? You nailed it on the head. You said blackberry and cherry. I think you said dark cherry.
I just said cherry, but
Blackberry
and
black cherry and fig.
So,
nose.
I wanna know your
You pretty
opinion,
much
though.
hit that on there. It's delicious.
It's delicious.
It's absolutely delicious.
And drink what you like. That's one of the
Yeah.
big things that'll become a theme of this podcast.
I feel like the fig on the nose is big. But I think in your description, if you substitute the word wine for podcast, for this podcast, I think that describes
Absolutely.
our podcast.
Yes.
So,
And on that
What you guys are going
so
for.
cheers, Paul. We will give you a cheers on them.
Yes.
And let me ask you this. So we're on the topic of gifts.
Yes, yes.
What you got clients? Tell
I
us,
do.
what
I do.
I'm sure you do closing gifts. I'm sure you do Christmas
Closing
gifts.
gifts,
Like,
Christmas
give me
gifts,
some
all that.
ideas of stuff you like.
So I think the biggest thing, I think you kind of hit that on the head as well. That's pretty much exactly what I would have said. So it's something that somebody is going to use. That's number one. Because I have plenty of stuff that I got that I either threw at the bottom of the cabinet or regifted or something to that extent. So I think number one, it's something that someone's going to use on a daily basis. I don't like some people do a bottle of wine and they'll actually put their label on or something. Again, you're gonna drink that one night, you might have a few bottles, you're gonna forget about it the next day.
Drop it.
So drop it, you're done, right? So I think the glasses are great. I'm looking into cutting boards right now. That's something that you take out once a week or you have over for Thanksgiving's coming up, right?
Yeah.
So you do something like that, and I think it's something you're gonna reuse over and over again, and it can help you stay top of mind. Oh yeah, who gave this to you? You know, obviously put your name on it, you know, and that's the way to go. So price point was another big factor, right? It's a factor, and I'm not big on segmenting as well.
So let me ask you this, because also you just went client gifts. Now you have a lot of agents that refer you business. Do you adjust the gift based on what the agent refers to?
No, I do not. It depends on again. I think you either include or don't include.
Okay.
And obviously the government has a certain regulation on how much you can give, things of that nature. So you got to watch out for that. And I'm sure this is similar in the realtor field.
Well, and you know, everyone takes revenues and takes a percentage of revenues for marketing. And you know, how do you break that marketing up? Do you use 5% of that for gifts, for closing gifts, or 10% or 15%, or is it more lead generating, or is it more referral basis? This is more of a keep in mind, keep in touch type
Right.
gift.
Right. I've seen with gifts, because it goes back to perception, and we've talked about this with like client perception. We're talking about client gifts and even agent gifts, and we haven't quite got to that point. But I don't know. Do you have a team, Paul?
I do.
Okay, so whether you have a team, whatever industry you're in, if you have a team or you're buying for like other employees or secretary or administration, or you have agents that work under you, I think we do have to be careful with cheapness perspective on what kind of gift you're giving them. It's not always the thought that counts, because there's a lot of just human perception on I almost would have rather not got anything than something that is going to fall apart or just looks like it was an afterthought.
Yeah, the
to it.
koozies are not a good Christmas gift.
Koozies are smart. So
And
I
I'm
think
all about koozies.
Yeah.
By the way.
Right.
All about koozies. We're in Myrtle Beach. It's hot most of the year. It's going to get used, and typically you keep them. You probably do a draw full of them, but
Right.
you break them out multiple times a year.
our culture has shifted, I think, to an extent of labeling certain things in swag.
Yep.
Like
Right,
things that you
absolutely.
get, there's swag,
Absolutely.
and then gifts, like a gift that's a thoughtful gift
gift
behind
needs to be a
it.
gift.
Then on that note, you know, there's also marketing, and then there's also gifts. So I had a
That's
friend of
true,
mine
yeah.
that used to have a painter hand paint a picture of their house that they bought. Now that's a gift.
That's nice.
I can write this off as marketing.
Right.
Right.
So you're right, Bill, but I can tell you this. I was in the banking world as a commercial lender prior to getting in real estate. And one of the gifts the bank did every year is we got honey baked hams to take to our commercial clients. And I can tell you what, obviously in the commercial banking world, a lot of, down here in Myrtle Beach, a lot of contractor type, a lot of that type business, subcontractors, that kind of stuff, did a lot of business with them. Those type of guys, when you show up with a hunk of meat, they are happy. I can promise you that 100% of the time.
So
Any food related.
So would you take this to the next step? And I think this is where we were talking about, we're drinking a Gary Vee wine, and I've heard him talk about this over the years. But when it comes to gifts, do we start on some level, whether it's maybe just with clients or that kind of stuff, moving away from the typical logo, like everybody gets the same thing, to actually researching, looking at the person, you know, are they a fan of this team? Do they like red wine? Do they like white wine?
It's interesting you say that, because one of the comments from local real estate agent here, Adam Cates, said, gifts specific to your client's personal interests.
Right.
I think you can take that to agents too.
Right. Because 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we didn't have access to that information.
True.
We now have access to that information about each person, of what they like, what they don't like, and can make it a more thoughtful gift for sure.
Here, and that's a great point. I know Gary Vee has definitely brought that up. Hey, send some Jets stuff or whatever it may be. But you also have the time factor, I think, is a big part of it as well. You can't be sitting around all day Googling every different person. It depends on how many you're trying. It's a tough.
Let me tell you, that falls into, and Gary Vee calls it this, and we even call it in our own company, within our company, surprise and delight. Can you truly surprise somebody? Well, the way to surprise them is to do something they didn't truly expect.
Sure.
And that's just the way to put it in. Sometimes it can be small, sometimes it can cost a little bit, sometimes it can cost more. But I think that's where it falls into. And I think the more people know how much thought you put into the gift. That's the truth. I do believe
build that into your acquisition cost for client
relationship.
But you know, if I purchase a product and they send me something that was personalized, I want to make sure I tell everyone I know about that.
Yeah.
Versus if I didn't receive that, I would probably not tell anybody, maybe a couple people about the product. But I would be more impressed with the thought of the customer service level there.
And I think that has a lot to do with segmentation as well. So on the upper echelon of people either you're trying to acquire or your highest level, you can go a little more customization on that. Depends again how big your book is, how many partners you have, things of that nature. But that's where I would spend my time, is on the top 10%. Then you can go a little bit more.
You say that though in the specialization and going, Paul went that route.
Right.
Bill just went to the specialization. I can tell you this, I've been, great thing about these guys, I've been friends with them for years. Over the years, I can tell you, Bill is an excellent gift giver. And the reason why is, like, if you even invite Bill to your kid's like second birthday party, he's showing up with great gifts, period. 100% of the time. It almost makes you not want to bring a gift, because you're like, dang, what's Bill gonna do?
Cheers.
Just put my name on it.
And that's good to be noticed. That guy, right?
True gift.
Yeah. It's just something it's a good talent you have, Bill. I'll give you some credit there.
So, but I want to close a little bit with this. Any ideas or do anything on there about, because I think clients are in one category, as we all have clients and that kind of stuff, but agents, like people you work with, that person you're going to see more constantly.
So on the comments, Chris actually posted a great idea. I don't know if he wants to share it or not.
So like I said, 16 years of trying to think of what to buy agents every year at Christmas is becoming more daunting of a task. I'm thinking of like an Eagle Realty coupon book, where there's lots of different things in there, maybe related to real estate agents. I'm gonna give someone might use this. I think I'm gonna try something like this. But I mean, you could give them like a free transaction side. You can do some very like real estate related things. You know, $100 in sign coupons at Sign Station. You know, whatever, if they're buying riders or they're buying signage. Depends on your brokerage setup. I also thought, I mean, you know, maybe your agent needs a hug, and then, you know, you give them a free hug coupon, because
Chris, I agree.
that's from Chris.
Emotion has a lot to do with it. Monetary value.
You know about
Yes,
this.
emotions play a big role in being a broker manager.
Counseling session, a 1 hour counseling session.
Wait, do you give that away, Bill?
You give it away free.
Yeah, free.
I'm doing a coupon. Like, you got turned in.
Yeah, give it away for free. But monetary value is what I see the other side of it. So,
Yeah.
And if you're
instead of giving a big trophy or a big award or a big plaque, yeah, that's nice to hang in your office, but
I want something tactical to their business, something that's going to help
send them out to
their
dinner.
business with something. Or, well, yeah, I mean, I've done gas cards for buyers, especially their buyer agent focus.
free referral where you hand them off a no-brainer client.
From
from whatever lead source you got it from.
Yeah, I think some of these are based on how you're structured your company
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
Well,
you talk about being like a night out, like to like.
Yeah, night out is one thing, but you know, it's always remember.
Yeah.
So, the plaque is always going to be on the wall.
Gift certificate.
Agent of the month. By the way, Nick has been agent of the month for the last 3 years.
He's killing it.
No, I have
until
not.
Greg Warren showed up.
But
You could claim that too on your
Might be able to claim that.
Sorry.
he's way more. That's way more true for Bill Yates than it ever is for me.
I'm pretty sure I've seen an ad in a real estate book that had Bill Yates top agent in that same book 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I think it just kind of happens.
That's
sometimes.
rich. That's rich.
I definitely think so.
So any ideas, drop in the comment. We haven't said this in any of the podcast episodes, but on any of these topics, and especially in this one too, if you got ideas you want to share, great gifts that you have done, either for clients or for agents, drop in the comments below or message us on the Facebook page, Brokers and Booze, and because I'm kind of curious on what other people are doing in this realm.
And
come to Christmas.
And I really am interested to see if we can get some comments and some ideas that are specifically have a high value with medium price. Like the person really values the value of it at a medium
Return
price.
on investment.
Yes. I think our audience can bring some of that to us.
All right, yeah, definitely put it on there. I think this episode's out, like it's like Black Friday or it's around there, so put some ideas out there. You're gonna bring value to some other agent or someone in our industry, for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're gonna conclude this with a toast.
Yep.
Thank you, Paul, for joining us.
Yes,
Appreciate
Paul,
it.
Thanks, our first guest on Brokers and Booze, and until next time, keep it drinking.
Keep it classy.
We'll be drinking.
Drink more. How many just drinking things are?
Actually, that's kind of funny because you each said that.